No Caitlin Clark, no problem. The Indiana Fever just absolutely destroyed the Las Vegas Aces, and man, oh man, do we have a whole lot to get into. In a game where A'ja Wilson put up nearly 30 points, the Indiana Fever won by nearly 30 points, and Caitlin Clark didn't even play. Kelsey Mitchell in this game was absolutely exceptional and spectacular. She had 25 points, and it wasn't a game where she was just chucking up a bunch of shots, but when she got looks, she made her shot. And Aaliyah Boston was also exceptional in this game. She had 20 points and 7 rebounds. She shot at nearly 70% from the field, and she was making all her shots around the rim. Caitlin Clark obviously wasn't able to feed her in this game, but she was able to get her own, which was big time. And Natasha Howard has continued her good play for the Indiana Fever. She had a lot of buckets around the rim. Her touch has been amazing. She did a good job of containing Alyssa Smith in this game. She had another great one. And the unsung hero of this game was definitely Aari McDonald. She had 8.7 rebounds and 7 assists in this game, and her just pushing the pace, running the offense, getting everybody involved was so big for this Fever team. Without Caitlin Clark, this team is obviously lost without a player to look for everybody. Aari McDonald comes in and she immediately fills that hole. She was able to push the pace, run fast, and make the right passes. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as when Caitlin Clark is out there, but Aari McDonald does the job exceptionally well. The perfect backup point guard for this Indiana Fever team. And because the Indiana Fever were able to get so many stops in this game, they were able to push the pace in transition. And what do I always say? When the Indiana Fever push the pace in transition, good things happen. And when the Indiana Fever do get out in transition, you see them cutting backdoor. You see them setting the off-ball screens. You don't see a stagnant offense. You actually see movement. And when the Indiana Fever do move, good things happen. And speaking of good things happen, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I actually have it on my shirt today, which leads me to the sponsor of today's video, DIYOJ. With DIYOJ, you can customize your own jersey for a more personalized sports experience. You see with mine, I got the number 22 on the front because I'm a Caitlin Clark fan and I wanted to rep the Caitlin Clark number. And then I got the Cartier on the back because I am Cartier. And then I got the good things happen on the front because good things happen when the Fever push the pace in transition. And even though I customize my jersey this way, you can customize yours however you want. I got a baseball jersey. They also have football, basketball, soccer, and many more styles. If you're looking to get a quality jersey, because this is really good quality, but you also want to add your own touch and put your fingerprints on the fabric, then DIYOJ is the way to go. And if you do decide to go with DIYOJ, you can use code Carter10 for a 10% discount at checkout. So thanks once again to DIYOJ for sponsoring this video and for sending me this cool freaking jersey. But let's go ahead and get into the film breakdown of this Fever Aces game, because I think the Fever winning it this big was even cooler. Now, early on in this game, the Indiana Fever established themselves in the paint. It was Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston early who were getting them all their points. Kind of like on this first play where Aaliyah Boston is down on the low post, the defensive attention does come and help. So Natasha Howard has a wide open lane. Aaliyah Boston makes the right pass, and that is amazing touch around the rim from Natasha Howard. She's been making a lot of her layups as of late. She's been getting to the free throw line, making her free throws. She's been a great player for this Indiana Fever team. Shout out to Natasha Howard, because she did not start off on a high note for this Fever team, but it seems like she's finally gelling with everyone, and she's also been holding her own defensively, so she can keep this up. Good things will continue happening for this Indiana Fever squad. And I want you guys to look at this defense from the Indiana Fever. Notice Lexi Holt fighting over all these screens. And look at everybody else. They're not giving the Aces any space to operate offensively. This is amazing defense from the Indiana Fever. It's nothing more than effort. They forced a shot clock violation here because the Indiana Fever are actually trying defensively. The biggest problem with this Indiana Fever team is that a lot of the time they don't try. They allow the other team to get wide open layups, but in these past couple games, they've actually been trying defensively. They've actually been swarming the other team defensively, which is why they've been able to do what they've been doing. And Kelsey Mitchell was definitely the MVP of this game. She scored 25 points, but she also had 6 assists. Kind of like on this play right here. She comes off the screen, 2 defenders go with her. She makes the right pass to Natasha Howard, who makes the shot at the rim. Look, Natasha Howard's not doing all that bogus, goofy stuff anymore. She's getting the ball at the rim and she's making her layups. She's actually looking pretty good off the pick and roll. If this keeps on from Natasha Howard, I'm telling you, good things are going to happen for this team. And I like to see Kelsey Mitchell drawing defensive attention, making the right pass. This is usually what Caitlin Clark is doing. Now Kelsey Mitchell is doing that because she's the vocal point of the offense. It's good to see her adjust and start making the right reads. And I want you to furthermore examine how the Indiana Fever are establishing themselves defensively early on in this game. Look at this. They're not giving the Aces any space. No breathing room. They're all up on the Aces. Look at Lexi Lexi Hole here smothering Jackie Young. She has to throw up this prayer at the end, and it's no good. A shot clock violation. This is beautiful defense from the Indiana Fever. This is something that we have been longing to see from this team. And the Fever haven't had to have this elaborate defensive game plan to up their level of play defensively. They've just been playing with more effort. They've been fighting over the screens. They've been smothering the other team, and that effort goes a long way. If you actually try defensively, you look like an entirely different team. Now, Aaliyah Boston early on in this game was not getting the ball off the catch. She was actually going to work off the dribble, kind of like on this play where she gets down low into the paint, stops, shoots the mid-range shot. That's what I like to see from Aaliyah Boston. What do I always tell you guys, man? She is going to be at her peak so long as she continues shooting these mid-range to three-point jump shots because she has the skill. She has the bag. She just has to be more confident with it. But it's also good to see Aaliyah Boston put the ball on the floor and use her strength. She was manhandling these Aces defenders all game. There were a lot of plays where she just put her body into the defender and got wide open layups at the cup because she's stronger and she's bigger. You don't have to play small, Aaliyah. You're a freaking polar bear. Use your size. And I want you to examine this interior defense from Lexi Hole. She's not doing too much. She's just holding her ground, keeping her hands up. And look, Mufasa can't do anything down there. And I'm saying Mufasa because I don't know what the heck Nalissa Smith got going on with her haircut, but either way, as messy as her hair is, her game is looking messy too. And it's because of the Indiana Fever defense. They're holding their ground. They're not allowing these other players to have wide open layups at the cup. And that is the biggest problem this Fever team has had all year. They've been giving up wide open layups at the cup every single game. The past two games, you haven't really seen it at all. I haven't even noticed in the live watch parties me saying the Fever are giving up wide open layups because they've actually been playing good interior defense. And it's not the fact that they're able to stop players when they get to the cup, but it's the fact that they're able to stop players before they get downhill. That is the big thing for this Fever team. You might not have the size to contest at the paint against a player who's bigger and stronger than you, but what you can do is do whatever you can to stop them from being able to get the ball in the paint. You've seen a lot of that from the Indiana Fever. If they continue that on, good things will continue to happen for this team. And look at this next play. Kelsey Mitchell's playing off ball. She comes off a screen, gets the ball on the wing, and she drills this three-point jump shot. This is where she's at her best, getting it off the catch, one dribble or no dribble, just getting it up. That's just Kelsey Mitchell's game. I love seeing her be aggressive. She got up 19 shots in this game, man, and I love to see her actually scoring, man. She broke out of that big slump she was in to start the season, and now she's totally in a groove. She's on her way to being player of the month, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from Kelsey Mitchell, man. Definitely an all-star starter, if you ask me. And Kelsey Mitchell is not just a three-point shooter. Being able to mix it up and get down low into the paint is also big time. Look at her coming off a screen here, hesitating, getting past Nalissa Smith, slowing down, allowing the defender to hit her back and make that easy layup. There's no foul call here, but I love the slow down from Kelsey Mitchell to make that layup at the cup. When Kelsey Mitchell is getting downhill and getting layups at the rim, good things are happening. I love to see her be in control when she gets down there because there's a lot of time where she's out of control and she'll miss the layups. Everything was clicking for Kelsey in this game, and once again, she was one of the biggest reasons why the Fever won this game. And this is more of Aaliyah Boston using her size. You're a freaking polar bear. Use your size. Look at her going to work against Asia Wilson, getting that layup at the cup, putting it on the floor and being like, you know what, I'm big, I'm bulky, I'm finna hand it to you. I think we've all noticed Aaliyah Boston playing small, so it's really good to see her playing big, using her size because she is so big, and when she uses her size, she uses her strength, good things happen. And I want y'all to examine this next play. Kelsey Mitchell gets it to Sydney Colson, and what a pass down to Aaliyah Boston, y'all. That was beautiful. That is a Caitlin Clark kind of pass. When she first passed that in the live watch party, you'll see my face go, what? I thought that was a turnover. And then it got through, and I was like, because what the heck? That's something you don't see in the WNBA all the time. That's definitely a Caitlin Clark kind of pass. She learned that one from CC 1000%. And look at this defense once again from the Indiana Fever. They're giving the Aces no breathing room here. There is no space for the Aces to operate offensively, and you end up with Nalissa Smith going ISO ball, and that never works out. We know from experience last year that is not what you want. Good defense from Natasha Howard, and you get the shot clock violation. And the Fever stops early were being translated 2 points on the other end. Look at Ari McDonald get into the mid-range, stopping on a dime, got that defender going to La La Land, and she pulls the mid-range jump shot. She drills it. She only had 8 points in this game, but she made timely buckets. She didn't overshoot. She just took what the defense gave her. That's what I like about Ari McDonald. She's not a player who's going to chuck up shots. She's not a player who's going to force passes. She's just going to do what the game requires of her. That is why you want her on the Indiana Fever, and that's why I'm so excited for her to play with Caitlin Clark, because you guys have to understand, Ari McDonald knows how to pass the basketball. We've been complaining about the way the Indiana Fever coaching staff has had Caitlin Clark playing off ball, but when you add someone like Ari McDonald, who's actually going to be able to find Caitlin Clark, who also will be actively looking for Caitlin Clark off ball, the off ball play might actually work. So that's something you need to look out for when Caitlin Clark does come back, because when she and Ari are on the court at the same time, it's not going going to be like Kaylin and Kelsey on the court at the same time. Aerie is more of a playmaker, and she also understands the game. She knows when to take a shot. She knows when to make the right pass, and so that's really going to work out with Caitlin Clark if she does decide to play off ball. And this is more of my point with Aerie McDonald. She's looking to make this pass right here, but she sees the opening, so she cuts to the paint. Now, that might have been a play call from the Indiana Fever. If so, shout out to Steph White, but this is also just a beautiful IQ move from Aerie McDonald, noticing the wide open lane, not making the pass, and taking it and getting the easy layup at the rim. And once again, early on, you got Aerie McDonald coming off a screen, getting down low into the paint, and making a layup at the cup. She was exceptional in this game when it came to getting down low into the paint and taking what the defense gave her. If you're going to give her a wide open lane, she's going to take it. If you're going to give her a wide open mid-range jump shot, she's going to take it. If you're going to double up on her and leave her teammates wide open, she's going to make the right pass. That's what you like to see from Aerie McDonald. She is the best point guard this team has seen outside of Caitlin Clark. And look at this next play. Kelsey Mitchell comes off a pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston. Two defenders go with Kelsey, allowing Aaliyah Boston to have a wide open mid-range jump shot that looks a lot like what Caitlin Clark does when she's on the court with Aaliyah Boston. Now Kelsey Mitchell is the focal point of the offense, and you've seen the adjustment from Kelsey. At first, Kelsey wasn't looking to make the pass. Right now, she is. She had 6 assists in this game. The more she's looking to pass off the defensive attention, the better this Indiana Fever team will look. And look at this next play. Kelsey Mitchell comes off this screen. Two defenders go with her. She throws the pass, the beautiful pass, down to Aaliyah Boston, who goes to work against Alyssa Smith. What is Alyssa Smith going to do against Aaliyah Boston down low in that paint? Have you heard of Alyssa Smith? Did you not watch my videos last year? Alyssa Smith sucks defensively. She's even worse interior-wise than Natasha Howard has been for the first half of this season. Like, it is atrocious interior-wise, her defense, so she's not going to be able to do anything against Aaliyah Boston. I love this play. Kelsey Mitchell drawing the attention, making the right pass. This is a different type of Kelsey Mitchell, a Kelsey Mitchell that actually understands what's going on offensively, not just looking to chuck up shots, but looking to make the right passes. And look at this next play. Kelsey Mitchell is cutting back door, and what a pass from Natasha Howard, man. That is IQ. Everybody is gelling. Everybody knows when to make the right pass on the court right now, and it's looking great. I didn't even know Natasha Howard had that in her bag, but any teammate of Kelsey Mitchell should know that when she's cutting back door, look for her. Natasha Howard looks for her, and it works out. Good things happen when Kelsey Mitchell cuts back door. And this next play is just sauce on sauce on sauce from Kelsey Mitchell. She comes off this screen and just pulls a three-point jump shot. So you've seen her passing it. You've seen her getting down low into the paint, getting layups, and now she's like, you know what? I'm going to just shoot it in your mouth and drill it. That is what I love about Kelsey Mitchell. She has so many layers to her game. She can either hit it at the rim, she can get the mid-range jump shot, she can get the three-point jump shot, she can make the passes now. That's what I love about Kelsey Mitchell. And this here is a clear-cut example of how Kelsey Mitchell fakes out the defense. She has a wide open three on the perimeter. The defense thinks she's going to shoot it, but she takes it into the paint. And then they're all thinking she's going to shoot this layup, but instead she makes the pass to Natasha Howard, which is a beautiful pass, and turns into an assist. Big layup from Natasha Howard. She's making her shots around the rim. Kelsey Mitchell is getting down low into the paint, drawing defensive attention and making the right passes. This is everything you want to see from this Indiana Fever team. And to top it all off, they're playing fast. They're playing with pace. They're playing quick. This is what you love to see. And look at this next play. Lexi Hole is holding her ground against Alyssa Smith down in that low post, drawing a charge. That's what I love to see from Lexi Hole. She's playing amazing defense in the paint. They did not allow Alyssa Smith to get into a groove. Now, granted, Alyssa Smith is not that good of a player, but hey, they contained her well. There was no mishaps interior-wise in this game. It was exceptional basketball and exceptional defense from the Indiana Fever. And look at this effort from Lexi Hole, getting on the ground, getting the loose ball, and drawing a foul, which gives her 2 free throws on the other side. This is the kind of effort I love to see from the Indiana Fever. They're playing with grit and aggression defensively, and they're going for all the loose balls, and they're getting free throws out of it. This is how you win games. And off this play, the Indiana Fever actually end up going up 24 points. They end off this game with a 27-point lead. I could go on into the second half, but it's more of the same. The Indiana Fever totally cooked the Las Vegas Aces, so I'm going to cut this one short. But shout out to the Indiana Fever for this big win, man. They play with effort defensively. They play with pace. They play fast. Kelsey Mitchell was in a groove. Natasha Howard continued her good play. Aaliyah Boston was aggressive. And when all these things are clicking at once, the Indiana Fever can totally hand it to a team like the Las Vegas Aces. One thing everybody's going to be talking about is the Indiana Fever team playing better without Caitlin Clark? Personally, I don't think so. I think the Indiana Fever are just playing better because they are exercising their best traits. The Indiana Fever are good when they push it in transition. They're good when they get stopped and get out and run. They were not doing that without Caitlin Clark initially. Now they are doing that, and that's when they're at their best. When Caitlin Clark is playing, they don't play good when they don't get out in transition. But when they do play good with Caitlin Clark, it's because they're getting out in transition. So it has nothing to do with Caitlin Clark being on the court or off the court. It just has to do with good habits. This team is at its best when they play fast. With or without Caitlin Clark, you have to play fast. They're playing fast in these past 2 games, which is why they're getting the wins. But either way, that's where I'm going to end off this breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did. More to come. Hopefully you guys will enjoy your 4th of July. And yeah, man, I'm out. Peace out.